What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tip of the Spear. I'm here with
John. Goal.
and Grayson. And sorry we've missed a couple weeks. I think it's been two. This is episode 9. We have a lot to talk about: new uniforms, new draft position stuff, and then also we're going to talk baseball later down the road that we want to get into. But I think I'm going to pass it off to my dad, and we'll talk about starting with uniforms. Correct?
Oh my God! Today was a big day in D.C. and I'm interested to get everybody's opinion. But I'm going to first go on a rant because yes, today we waited a month? Was it a month for the release of the new unis and the new helmet? And so I waited all day. I actually called Cole this morning because I thought they were going to roll it out like at midnight, but no, it was 10 o'clock. So I'm waited, on my, sitting on my hands, waiting, so excited to see what the release was. And they released the jerseys, and I was like, yes, those are cool, the retro jerseys. They released the color on the helmets. Yeah, it was pretty cool, the old style helmets with the stripes. But guess what's still on the freaking helmet? The taco holder. So, major disappointment there. Then they release the black jersey in the black uni, which has nothing whatsoever to do with the Commanders, Redskins. I guess it has everything to do with Commanders. It has nothing to do with the Redskins. I'm sorry. I can't get behind it. I know these two are going to be like, oh, it's so cool. New generation, new colors, black, red, whatever. The colors don't even go together in my opinion. But hey, what do I know? I'm old school. I love the uniforms. And then guess what they pull out? They pull out the black helmet. And guess what the helmet has on it, guys? Guess what? What we've all been waiting for. The beautiful spear that everybody in DC's been hoping for, the spear. But where's the spear? Guys, where's the spear?
On the helmet.
Where? Run through that God-forsaken, ugly-ass taco holder. So they couldn't even get that right. I mean, that's all they had to do. Put the spear on the helmet by itself, but they had to run it through the two-dimensional taco holder. How could they screw this up? I swear to God, Dan Snyder is on his $6 billion yacht somewhere in Europe, laughing his ass off about why we're stuck with that stupid logo. The worst logo in the entire NFL. Everything else was perfect. And I could even accept the black jerseys. I can even accept it. Young people like it. I can accept it. They screw the one thing up that would have made everybody happy. And you guys know it. They put the spear on the red helmets. They put the spear. The whole issue is dead. But they keep screwing it up. So I'm going to ask you, what is the affiliation? What is the love? What is the connection to this God-forsaken W that these owners have? What is it? I don't understand it. Why can't they get rid of it? Anyway, my rant is done. I love the uniforms. I think the uniforms are great. The black, but the spear, they really screwed up in my opinion. So, thumbs down to Josh Harris in the stinking helmet. The one thing that would have made everybody in the DMV happy, they screwed up.
Well, now that rant is over, I think we can all calm down a little bit and bring the emotions down a little bit and talk about the uniform. I thought they're awesome. I love the retro uniforms with the burgundy and gold, and I also love the white. We completely got rid of the old jerseys, which I didn't mind really, but I love these. I think it's awesome. I will agree with my dad to an extent with, the spear being on the helmet, but it's through the W. I mean, we are the Washington Commanders, so we have to show the W in some way because that truly was our main logo for, I don't know, this is probably year 6 now, I think it is, with the Washington Commanders logo being the W. I think it is. It was 2020, I'm pretty sure.
2/2/22. 4 years ago, that's it.
I apologize.
We got thrown down the well with the worst name in professional football. I think it's the worst name that they ever could have possibly come up with, next to Guardians.
But I love the black uniforms. I honestly, I think last year the black uniforms were our best uniform in my personal opinion.
Oh,
I think it's so cool. I
oh.
do. I think it's so cool. I know I'm probably the new age young kid, and that's gonna hurt my dad obviously with his reaction to that. But I think it's super cool. I mean, the way they do the whole lights out thing at the stadium with the black uniforms, I think it's sick. Um, Cole, I don't know how you feel about the uniforms, but I like them. I mean, yes, the logo is it's just what we have to deal with. At least they added the spear. Be grateful.
Yeah, the spear and the W. Ugh.
So I'll say I personally love the new uniforms. I think they're sleek, they're modern, but they also pay homage to the old uniforms as well. I love the new burgundies. I like that they're keeping the whites that we brought last year. The what are they? The Super Bowl whites. I think those are awesome. I'll also agree with. I'm not a huge fan of the black W spear logo on the helmet on the black uniform. I would have preferred just a standard spear, but honestly, I'll take it at this point. Like just getting a spear on there was what we were looking for. My only real issue with that helmet on the black jersey is if you look closely at the spear and the way it's going through the taco holder W. Like if you take a close look at that, it doesn't make sense.
It's two-dimensional. It where it goes in and comes out doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And whoever was in the graphic design department didn't look that one too hard. But other than that, I think the uniforms are super sleek. I can't wait to see them out there. I'll be for sure buying another black uniform when I go to a game this year, just because those are by far the coolest uniforms we have. I know they have no ties to the old Redskins uniforms and stuff like that, but I mean, black looks good with anything, and pairing it with I think the nice burgundy numbers and letters with the yellow piping or the golden piping is super clean looking, and I love that. Again, not a huge fan of the black helmet, but at the end of the day, I'll take a spear on there. From what I understand, because I was listening to the radio as well a little bit today as well, they were saying that maybe the spear is just kind of like they're testing the waters for these couple of years, and then it's going to be a slow progression to making the spear our full-time logo, but apparently that's like a change that takes longer than a couple years. They're saying they're speculating that they may be soft launching the spear as like our official logo in the future. Again, I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'll definitely compare to the uniforms we had, and I like the uniforms we had. I think this is a massive step up.
Soft launch. They said that 80 to 90% of the fans love the spear. What do you got a soft launch? It's a no-brainer. So they bring back the spear and they muck it up by putting it through that ugly ass W. That's what I'm talking. It's like almost like a little kid came up with this plan instead of just going with what everybody wants. I just don't get it. And yeah, okay, they gave us the spear, but I just think it's such an easy decision for ownership to be like, just add the spear. Everybody will be on board. We don't have to change another thing after that. Let's just do it. And they keep saying, oh, what's the affinity? Oh, we'll test the waters. Well, yeah, you know what they're going to do? They're going to make you and me and you go buy all that gear, and then they're going to change it again. So I just feel like it's, if they truly are, this is a soft launch, and then just grabbing money.
You know,
And I just think it was such a easy thing, and they screwed it up, and it just reminds me of Dandy Dan. But I love the uniforms, I'll say that. And I know I'm dying on this hill with this stinking spear. But I just think for old guys like me, that would have made us all be like, hey, I'm back. I'm on board. I love it. I think it's a great compromise.
You know, going with that, one thing I say that we were missing in the uniforms is the old throwback uniforms, like the darker maroon. I absolutely love that with the old school spear on the helmet. I think that would have been a really cool like mix up. Maybe just like for one game we bring that out or something like that. But even when we were playing Madden along back in the day, I'd always be rocking that uniform because it's so cool. I wish we still had that. And I don't see any problem with having that uniform with just that spear because, I mean, we had the old Redskins logo, but then they would have the alternate as that spear. So I just asked that question, like, why didn't we bring that back? I mean, did we not want to be too much like the Redskins, the old Redskins? We had to move on that much?
I think there's already an issue, Grayson, because they have all the minions out talking about how cool the uniforms are and how it's a process. It's a process. We have to go through a process of bringing the spear back. No, you don't. Put the stinking spear on the helmet and be done with it. It's just to listen to it. You go through all this effort of bringing everything back. I know. I'm going to stop, but it's just I was so hopeful last night. I was like, man, if they get the spear on there, I'm done. I'll be happy until the day I die.
It was leaked. It was leaked like
I know. In the
5 days.
Tell me that
before.
sweatshirt doesn't look like trash.
Yeah,
I mean, that's trash, man.
I did see that, and I was like, I hope it's a little bit better than that. I mean, obviously, it did come to be. And
even the font of the W. Come on. Why don't they put like DC on the helmet or something that is stupid?
This is all part of the plan. It's just so you could buy all this uniform stuff, and then 3 years down the road, oh my God, a new logo comes out, so you buy that too. It's all part of the plan.
I don't love my team. I don't love my team or anything.
What? Oh
no, I'm just saying. Obviously, I care way too much.
Yeah.
I would trade the logo for a Super Bowl though.
Yeah, that is true. I would definitely do that as well.
But anyway, any other final comments, Colin? You just sitting back like a cat that ate the canary, like you don't really care. He's like, whatever.
No, I mean,
let my dad just rant away. Oh, by the way, Cole is 24. Everybody, happy birthday, Cole. 24 years old. We went out to Firebirds last night. He had his fave, which is the filet with mushroom blue cheese dressing with French fries, couple Blue Moons, and and the cheesecake. And they did not sing him happy birthday. Did not sing happy birthday, so he was happy. He was happy about that. So yeah, happy birthday, Cole. You made it to 24. Come talk to me when you're 58.
I'll blink and I'll be there.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I was sitting back. I was enjoying your little rant. I don't get to hear that. Well, it's not football season. If it's football season, I get to hear it all the time. But right now, I'm missing it a little bit. So I'm sitting back and kind of enjoying it. But
listen, when we're putting up 40 points a game next year, hopefully, I don't think.
Oh, I'll forget all about it. I'll forget
exactly. I was just about to say.
Yep. And when Jaden Daniels kicking ass, I'll forget all about it. Trust me.
And then you'll see us on defense doing absolutely dog shit again, and then you'll bring up the uniform for sure.
I'm hoping the defense has improved. I think it has improved.
We'll see.
And that'll actually give us a pretty good segue to the next thing then, because
the draft.
The draft. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of speculation that the Commanders are interested in potentially trading down.
I've heard this too.
So my question, I'm not sure if you guys have anything prepared, but I've got one guy in mind that if we were to trade down, say, to the 10 or the 12 spot, that I could see still being there and be something that I think could be an absolute game changer on the defense. Now, the person I'm referring to is Mansour Delane.
Oh.
Okay. We need another corner. I still think. I like Amos. I like Sam Strill. And did we bring somebody else up in free agency? Did we bring in anybody? No, yeah, we did.
Amik
Robinson. Yeah. But I still think we need another young guy to be able to throw in there and really help our pass game. And I think he's going to be sitting right there at the 10 to 12 spot.
Who are we going to trade with?
Whoever's in the 10 to 12. I've heard the Cowboys want to trade up.
For picks or just for a player, you think?
We'd probably be doing it for picks if we were to do it. I haven't even looked at any the mock pack. Actually, no, I have looked at one of the mock packages. It'd be like, if the Cowboys were to trade up to us, they'd give us their first, which I think is like in the 12 to 15 spot.
How about they just give us George Pickens? Just give us George Pickens for free.
Hell, I'd take George Pickens.
Just FYI, on my way home tonight, that's what they were talking about. That they are actually putting Pickens on the market, and they would potentially trade Pickens and their first round pick for number 7. And I'll tell you what, I would do that. Yes, and I would do that. Let me tell you, I would do that in a second. Grayson, I'm dead serious. They're dead serious about moving up and getting rid. I'm just telling you.
You got to stay off the Facebook because you can hear
No. That wasn't Facebook. That was Grant and Danny this afternoon talking about it.
Grant and Danny don't know any better either.
Legitimately, though, if that is the case, I'm with Dad here. It's not even. I don't even have to think about that. If that's the offer, they're getting their first rounder and Pickens. I'm like, draft's over. Yeah, we're taking that without question. Immediate improvement to the wide receiver room. Plus, you get to draft and still in the top 15.
Yeah.
Deal. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay,
That would be my price, even if that wasn't their offer. That would be my price. You want to move it up to 7? It's going to cost you Pickens and your 15th pick.
I'm taking Pickens in a third rounder, and I'm doing that. So serious. Pickens is worth that. I swear. He is actually
Even doing
a
a
game
third
changer.
rounder. They're willing to trade their first pick, and Pickens is included, or pick up another first round pick for Pickens. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Would you do straight up Pickens if that's what if they're saying? Okay, we'll do straight up Pickens to your 7 pick for a
Dude,
Pickens.
that's like the same thing as picking Jeremiah Love in this position. It's like an explosive offensive player, but we'll be in the same exact boat. We got to go after defense. Like that's what we've been talking about. I mean, who knows what they're gonna do?
The problem is though that Jerry Jones notoriously does not trade with NFC East opponents.
Well,
and
he gave up Micah Parsons. Never know.
I said NFC East.
I know, but never know. For the right penny.
Yeah, well, and then the second
Depends
thing
on how
is,
desperate he is. Evidently, he's like 90 and he wants to win a Super Bowl, so he's pretty desperate. I don't know who he thinks it's 7 he needs for Dallas. I mean, because if you try to think back, what is he trying to?
I've seen more reports that they want to trade up to the 2 spot and potentially land either Arvell Reese or David Bailey.
That's crazy.
An end to try to make up for Parsons being gone.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what I think their big interest is trading up for an end, and or I've heard they'll be linked to like Sonny Styles to.
Well, then
apparently
they should trade with the Jets.
You know, a good move.
They'd have to give up a lot more for the Jets pick than they would our pick.
A good
That
move
being
that
said,
we
like
actually
Pickens
made.
is also real quick, Grayson.
Okay.
Pickens is also, like I think Grayson, you just mentioned like, oh, I'd just straight up give my first rounder for Pickens. Absolutely not. Number one, he's on a franchise tag 1-year deal. You're not giving a first year contract to a player with 1 year left on the contract who you're going to be paying $30 million to. Unless you trade for him with the intention of like there's a contingent plan that he has to sign a 3 or 4 year extension as soon as he gets here, that just doesn't make sense for a first round pick.
Does
You're
anybody know
trading
what's
first
going on?
rounder for 1 year of control for a player.
I think generally they work out like extensions before they would trade. They would do that trade. They'd have to work out extension. He'd have to agree to it. I would think. But I
mean,
I don't know, man. It's kind of like I don't know. I think that the reality is, what people are saying is that the draft really isn't that deep. Like,
Yeah.
if you really break into it, it's really not that deep. And a lot of teams evidently are wanting to trade back. So it could be kind of wild. People could fall. I mean, you could have, I don't know. If Jeremiah Love is there, I guess maybe you take him if he falls that far. But a lot of people are projecting a lot of teams.
Could also
will
just
trade
be in a
back.
position too, like, say for instance, for some reason, Adam Peters and our defense is looking at our guys that are on the draft board right now, and they're thinking, I mean, we could probably go one more year and looking for another defensive player other than maybe a Caleb Downs, a Alvaro Reese, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, whatever, right? And picking Jeremiah Love. Like, that could be a possibility, and just holding out to get him on a rookie contract, sign him for 5. I mean, he's a 5-year guy. After that, he's young. He's an explosive player, obviously a big talent that everybody thinks in the draft. And, like, literally just holding him down for that 5 years and hoping for, signs in the off season. Look for guys that we can sign again for defense and just try to hold out. Because, like I said, I mean, if we draft Jeremiah Love and our offense is explosive as it was 2 years ago and even last year when everybody was healthy, we're going to be just fine. We're going to be putting up points on the board. And honestly, if we just have, like I said this before, if we just have a mid defense versus last year, which was a shit defense, I think we'll be just fine. And then once we go a year later from that, sign people or draft another guy. But I think it would be smart to hold down a guy that could be here for 5 years, young, running back, explosive guy, and picking Jeremiah Love. So, I mean, obviously I'm not Adam Peters, but
No,
I mean that's.
I agree with you. But I don't think he's going to be there for us. That's what. I think that's what they're thinking. Is they're like, well, it's actually pretty deep with defensive players. There's David what is it, Bailey? They thought, oh well, he's going to be number 2, and now they're saying he may not be number 2, that he may fall to 7. So obviously, when you hear that, I think there's a lot. Either there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on, trying to people to act like they're not interested, or like Ruben Baines that came out. It's interesting, right? This week it comes out that he was involved in an accident. Somebody died in the accident. Well, where's that been? for the last 4 months. I never heard that. Now all of a sudden
heard
it's
that
come
either.
out. Well, did the team leak that because they want him to drop to them? You know, kind of like what happened with, what is it, Jalen Carter, right? Remember he had a big thing and people wanted to stay away from him, and the Eagles took him, and now he's like a baller. So, and then you'll hear on the other side, they go, well, Reuben Baines is the best. Outside of Jeremiah Love, he's the best, best player in the draft. So, I don't know, man.
I got kind of two things here. Number one, when Cole was talking about how we're going to trade back and maybe look for Mansour Lane. I mean, I go to Virginia Tech. I watched him for 2 years or a year, and he didn't perform that well. However, he went to LSU and he was a baller, and now he's a top 15 pick. I think that kind of scares me a little bit. I mean, he might have just had a really, really good season one time, but even against like ACC caliber players, it's obviously not as good as SEC players. He wasn't doing that well. Maybe that was just our scheme, the way the Hokies were. I mean, that was a whole mess 2 years ago. So, I mean, it could have just been our coaching staff. However, kind of scares me a little bit. I mean, is he a sure player like an Alvaro Reese or a David Bailey or a Reuben Bain or a Caleb Downs? I don't think so. Now, I could be completely wrong, but that's just my assumption. And then the other thing, too, since we were talking about extensions, I mean, what's the whole situation with Deebo Samuels here? Like, I don't know what's going on with him. Are we going to re-sign
As
him?
far as I know, he has not signed with anybody, so he may end up coming back.
He was working out with Frankie Louvu the other day. I think it was like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. So, I mean, they're still in touch, and I'm sure they're in his ear, too, talking about maybe we'll be good next year. Now, I just don't know if he's the type of guy that will stay another year because, I mean, it was disappointing for him last year, to say the least. Came here after the 2024 season, and we were on a high motor. Like, we were in the playoffs, made it to the NFC Championship, and then he comes here and we just don't perform. I mean, is he going to stay? Do you think he's going to stay? Do you think
We
he's
need
gonna
bodies. If he's at the right price, they'll keep him. That's the whole thing with him. Is I don't think they don't want him. They just don't want to pay what he thinks he's worth. And a lot of times free agency, you don't go right away, then your price comes way down. And maybe they said, yeah, try free agency, and if you don't get the number you want, we're willing to give you this, and he may come back. I don't know.
Yeah, I got zero issue bringing him back. I mean, again, for the right price. I mean, I think he, all things considered, performed very well for us. I wouldn't call his season last year disappointing by any means.
No, I mean, he was out there alone half the time.
Yeah, no, I know. And it'd be interesting because I feel like we never really got a true chance to see him and Terry kind of work together for multiple games. It'd be really interesting to see if we can bring him back. And I know we'd run a completely different style offense this year than we did last year, so it'd be less like quick out routes and backfield plays for Deebo. It'd be more like route running and maybe mix in a couple of those screens or stuff like that in there. But it'd be a very interesting thing to potentially bring him back because I did like him. I think he performed really well considering all the circumstances. But I think the only issue that people are having with Deebo right now is A, he's getting up there in age, and B, like he's, I don't know, there's like not a rumor, but it's like people always call him fat or whatever, like out of shape, whatever. Maybe I get that, and I've also heard he's asking for a lot of money too. Which
How do you know how much?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd just be speculating, but I know it's like a 3-year deal for I think it's like $30+ million, somewhere in that range. Which
I think it was
little,
upwards of 10 a year.
Is that not?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's a good price. No.
I mean, we got plenty of cap room. We could do it if we want to. So maybe he just has no interest in coming back here because I feel like our front office would have at least gone through the due diligence, potentially giving an offer and stuff at the start of free agency. Maybe our front office doesn't like him at all. Maybe they just want him to walk and we'll figure it out and they're holding out for Ayuk. What I think would be really interesting is if we re-sign Deebo and still sign Ayuk after he inevitably gets cut from the 49ers.
Yeah,
that'd be a complete overhaul of the wide receiver room.
Ayuk is definitely coming here. I mean, that is from everything I hear, it's pretty much signed, sealed, delivered. The second he's cut there, he'll be signing here. So he's going to be on the field with Terry for sure.
Say it was just like a 1-year deal for Deebo. What would be y'all's price for him? You think for like 1 year? Because I mean that's very plausible as well. For just a 1-year deal for him.
Hey, it's not my money. As long as they think it's worth it, sign him. I mean, I don't know what does a veteran wide receiver cost you nowadays, but I think they have to
give him
figure
12.
I think
1
they have to
year,
figure
well.
out how they would use him because if you have Ayuk and you really believe in McCaffrey, and you have Terry, and you have the new tight end, drawing a blank.
Oh, Okonkwo.
Yeah, you have the new tight end who's kind of like a wide receiver. I don't know. Where do you use him?
He's
And
gonna
if
be
you
a
end up with
beast.
a Jeremiah Love, and I'm still not out on Bill. I think Bill with a good offensive line can do some things still. I think we're forgetting about him. And what happens to Bill? I mean, is he really a number 3 running back? He's not really a powerful guy. That was more like McNichols,
I think McNichols is still here, right? We let C-Rod go, or is it the other way around? I think we did we keep
Yeah,
C-Rod?
Mick Nichols is still on the roster.
Okay.
C-Rod's gone. He signed, I believe, with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have right now like 4 running backs because we signed Jerome Ford too. I forgot
Yep.
about that.
And Rashad White.
Yeah, and Rashad White. So like Bill, if we get Jeremiah Love, Bill will probably be the wide receiver, running back 2 or 3. But that being said, Washington in past couple years and in the past we're notorious for running three running backs out there with significant playing time. They all split pretty evenly. And I think it's a good strategy, and I think it works. We've been like top 5 in rushing for a couple years now, doing this thing with no real stud running back. I think it's sustainable because you're always having fresh legs on the field at all times. You're not relying on Saquon Barkley to put up 2,000 yards and be your only source of rushing the entire year.
I think Bill will get traded, and then he'll end up being a superstar somewhere else if we get Jeremiah Love because he's tradable.
I don't know. Also, do y'all see that Zach Ertz is trying to come back? He's not retiring. He's trying to come back. I don't know if we're gonna stick with him or what we're gonna do.
He's another one for the right price. I'd bring him back. And I'll tell you, it's kind of evidently we have a bunch of holes. We need a lot of players still. So he's another one. Do you bring him back as kind of an on-field coach? I don't think he's going to play nearly as much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it for the right price. I don't like the way for any player, whether he plays here or not, to go out that way.
Yeah.
Had a great career. Ideally, maybe he should go back to Philly and play his last year there. Not that I want to compete against him, but he could go out where he spent the majority of his career. Some players do that. I'd be happy if he came back here. I have no problem with him.
Yeah. He could also be just that veteran guy, like a Bobby Wagner, in the sense that he can just drop all his knowledge that he's gotten over the years. Because, I mean, he's been in the league for over 15 years, and he can teach Chigakonko. And, I mean, he's a young guy. Not Zach Ertz. I'm talking about Chigakonko. He's a young player, and he could be really good with the right knowledge as well. I mean, he's coming from Tennessee, which they've done absolutely nothing. I mean, they'll be decent, I guess, next year. I don't know. Probably mid. But him coming here, I think that's a big, big upgrade for us.
What do you think about Bobby Wagner coming back, too? Potentially. Dan Quinn didn't shut the door on it when they asked him about it at the meetings. He's kind of like, well, we love what Bobby does, and we'll see how it works out. But I think he could be back, too.
I hope he just teaches Jordan McGee. I mean, I want to see Jordan McGee on the field as much as possible next year, just to see what he got.
Yeah, I think with our new and improved linebacker room, with Chenal, and we got somebody else that was a linebacker too.
From the Chiefs. From the Chiefs.
I love that Chenal guy.
That was Chenal.
I love that guy.
Didn't we get a second one, or am I just making that up?
I don't think we did.
I think we're talking about drafting Sonny Styles or one of those guys, but I don't think so.
Oh, yeah,
as far as a linebacker, I don't think so.
Because Owe can play a little bit of both, but he's primarily an edge, and maybe Chasson can play a little bit of linebacker. Either way,
he's an
you got a couple guys you can move around to different spots. Bobby Wagner, I think, could be a nice piece to the defense still. Like maybe don't have him out on the pass coverage plays, have him more out in the run coverage, run stuff plays to go in there and fill a gap somewhere. Because he still has elite pass rushing and elite ball, like elite tackling and all that kind of stuff. He just severely struggles in the secondary when it comes to his pass coverages. So, and the way Durante Bakes, I'm assuming will run a defense very similar to the way they've ran defense in Minnesota for a while now. I think there will be a lot of different packages with a bunch of different guys out there seeing the field, getting different looks in there. I think it'd be really exciting to see Bobby Wagner potentially fill a spot in that scheme of defense.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're right. Especially if we don't draft somebody, another linebacker. Well, even if we do, chances are, yeah, he could come back and be kind of like that on-field coach. I just don't see him playing as much because he can't cover. I mean,
yeah, he probably wouldn't play majority of snaps or anything like that. He'd probably be like a 30, maybe 40% of snaps kind of guy. But he's kind of like he's different than Zach Ertz in the aspect that he's not coming off a major injury. Like, I'd be a lot more comfortable bringing Bobby Wagner back into, say, a significant role, hypothetically, of course, than I would be bringing Zach Ertz back into a significant role. Now, I personally believe that Zach Ertz's playing career is completely over. I don't think anybody's going to sign him to come back and play. But I can see him coming back as a position coach or, like, again, getting signed, maybe being, like, the third tight end on the roster. Like, if hell freezes over or something, he gets a couple snaps out there, but he's really there just to mentor some young guys. I could be here for that. I don't think you need to sign somebody for a lot of money to do that. And I think he's got a lot of knowledge that he can share. But the one thing that really bothered me about Zach Ertz last year, and again, I love Zach Ertz. Let me just come out with this. It's just the fact that you got no yards after a catch with him whatsoever. Because he just wasn't an explosive player. He's a very safe player. He's got good hands. He'll catch the football. He'll go down. He'll protect the ball. But what I really am looking for is a tight end that can catch the football and then maybe extend the play by an extra 10, 20, 30 yards or so. And so I think, like Grayson was saying, Chig is a massive improvement in that. So I'm really excited to see what Chig can do. I think he is a really, really good tight end. I know he's undersized, but he's super explosive, has a lot of he can break a lot of tackles. He's shifty. So I'm really excited to see what Jaden Daniels can do with him, because I know Jaden Daniels loves targeting the tight ends. So we'll see pretty quickly an instant connection between those two. So I'm just hoping it kind of pans out well, and if Zach Ertz can be there to mentor them and building a better, stronger relationship, I'm all here for it.
Also too, I mean, someone I'm really, really excited to see back on the field is De'Ami Brown. I think he was severely underused. We all saw what he did during the playoffs. He's a very, very good player. I think if we use him the right way, he could be a really, really, really good asset for us. I think personally he's miles better than Luke McCaffrey. I'm kind of a Luke McCaffrey hater. I'm sorry, everybody out there that loves Luke McCaffrey. He hasn't, you wouldn't see him as like a star player, and that's just me. I'm probably gonna get hate for that. I apologize.
I agree. He doesn't seem to get open.
I don't think I've never really seen him run really fast. I don't think he's a fast guy. I wouldn't consider him a shifty guy either. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys can share some knowledge with me, but I would rather take De'Ami Brown as our 3 over Luke McCaffrey, in my personal opinion.
I think Luke McCaffrey is still on the roster because he does do punt returns really well, and he does kick return. I mean, he's going to be on the roster. So he'll have another shot this year to prove himself. We'll see. I think the whole idea is get a bunch of bodies into camp and weed out who you want to keep and who you don't. And we'll see, because none of the deals they made, I think everything's, another 1 year prove-it-to-me deal, prove it in camp, and we'll see what you can do, De'Ami. We love you because you've been here. We'll see.
I will say, though, if you look back on that whole thing, that was a masterclass in GMing by Adam Peters when it came to the De'Ami Brown situation. You let him walk last year because he was going to make this outrageous amount of money. Maybe it was 2 years ago. For an outrageous amount of money, he made $13 million last year, which is way more than he deserved, because I think in his career he still hasn't eclipsed 400 yards of receiving in a season. So it's $12 million for a dude that is probably going to get you 30 catches maybe the entire year. Is that's way too much. And so then we get him back here a year later for what we signed him to, $2 million or something like that. That's huge. If you like the guy, let him walk for the year. Let him test out Jacksonville or wherever the hell he was for the past year. Yeah. Make his money, and then re-sign him for what he's actually worth. It was so smart.
It's pretty amazing that he earned that amount of money with just what Jacksonville already had. They had Brian Thomas. They brought in Travis Hunter. And they brought in, they had Parker Washington, who had a phenomenal year last year, and they still brought in Diami for $13 million. I mean, that's ridiculous. Good for him. He got that bag, but I don't know if he was worth $13 million.
Well, his numbers prove he wasn't. They didn't bring him back. That's for sure. But what about? I also heard that guy is still available. What, Brian Thomas? He said, is that his name at Jacksonville? That he's
people have been throwing his name out. He's not leaving. I mean, can we be for real? Like, he's not. They drafted him round 1. I mean, I think he was the 7th overall pick, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Super high in the draft. He's gonna be a good player. I know he was battling injuries last year, but he's gonna be a great player. I mean, if I was Jacksonville, I'm not letting that guy go.
Yeah, that's the way I understand it's going to be. It's like, it's nice to think about reuniting Jaden Daniels and Brian Thomas. I think Brian Thomas is electric and just had a bit of a down year last year. But, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. But I from what I understand, what I'm seeing on social media and stuff, the Jags really have no interest in trading him, at least right now. Maybe we can revisit this conversation next year or midway through the season if Jacksonville's like just doing terrible and they need to offload assets. Maybe then. But from what I understand right now, before the draft, they're happy with him in Jacksonville and they have no interest in moving on from him.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I mean, where did he play? Was he at LSU? Is he an LSU kid?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of them. I mean, they're going to be good. I mean, every guy that comes out of LSU, even USC, OSU, I mean, those guys are dogs. So he'll be a great player. He just had a down year last year.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to football. I'm telling you, I'm ready for training camp.
Yeah, me too.
Uniform, no uniform, helmet, no helmet. I'm ready for football to be back. That's for sure. And I don't know. I don't know if Cole, if you've been following the Defenders at all this year, how they're doing. How are they doing so far? I mean, I know they lost the first game. Shout out to Ryan Cole, another kid that played baseball with Cole, is now on the Battlehawks. St. Louis Battlehawks. He's an offensive tackle, I think, and he had a pretty good game. I know we lost that game, so how are they looking from what you've seen?
I still think they're the best team in the UFL. I don't even think it's really close. I think they came out really flat the first game. The offense wasn't really clicking or anything like that. Defense still held, I think, the Battlehawks. I think it was like 16, 19 points. I don't remember off the top of my head. It was 3 weeks ago. But it was like below 20 points they held them to. So it was a pretty low-scoring game. We just couldn't get the offense going. The past 2 games, however, we've just beat the absolute piss out of the teams we're playing. I think one of the scores was like 44 to like 16 or something, and then the other one was also a blowout that I can't remember the score off the top of my head. But those past 2 games, again, the defense is holding opponents to low amounts of points, less than 20 points, and the offense has exploded for 30-plus points in back-to-back games and put up 40 last week. Like, they have came together and look fantastic.
I've heard Gabe Taylor looks pretty good. I heard Gabe Taylor had a sack. I know that. They were broadcasting that on ESPN. So I don't know. I wonder if he comes back.
Yeah,
I wonder how it works with those players if they can pull you at the end of the season. I guess they still can be pulled to the NFL or
From what I understand, the way like the rosters work is you can keep like 20 guys on your roster from last year if they don't go up to like the NFL or go to the CFL or just retire from football or whatever. Like, so you got like 15 to 20 guys you keep, and then it's kind of like you just sign the rest, and then you do your draft and get new players coming in, because obviously there's plenty of turnover in the UFL, I'm sure. Like, again, guys that realize maybe football's not cut out for them, they get cut and go to the real world, or maybe guys that move up to the NFL and stuff like that. There's a lot of turnover in the UFL. So, but they do, like, a lot of the guys that are on the Defenders this year are the same guys that were on the Defenders last year. So it's nice to be able to at least be familiar with a lot of the faces, like Jordan Teamu, the quarterback. I think he's been here for now like 3, maybe even 4 years now.
Yeah.
So he's been
pretty good.
Around. He's pretty good.
I'm surprised he's not on an NFL roster, to be honest with you. I mean, it looks to me like he could be somebody's number 3 or number 2. He looks pretty good to me. I don't understand, why some of these players aren't, backups on rosters. Maybe some of them were, and they're just not anymore. But I definitely got to get to a game. I keep hearing great things about Audi Stadium, and I got to see firsthand, live, with my own eyes, this beer snake.
Yeah, if Grayson comes back from college sometime soon, let's all hit up a game and sit in the beer snake section. Let's get some contributions. Just get drunk and rowdy and cheer on a team that we can't name more than 3 players on. It's gonna be a good time.
Who I want to see when I come back from school is the Nationals. I mean, I don't know how much you've been watching for you guys.
I've actually watched them a lot.
I've watched.
They're entertaining. They're entertaining to watch, and the pitching's coming around a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nope.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
For you baseball fans out there that are Nationals fans, I'm sorry. This is just like our pitching is just absolutely horrible. I see Cole's repping the jersey right there, but I think
Dave Cavelli's not horrible.
He'll fall off a little bit later down the road. I mean, he's starting out pretty decent, but I tell you what, it is very, very frustrating to be a Nationals fan to see how good our offense is. We are a top 5 offense in the league right now to this point. Now, yes, it hasn't even been 20 games, but seriously, like stats-wise, stats don't lie. We're top 5 in every single category on offense. Now, defense, pitching-wise, we are literally the worst team in baseball right now in like every single category, almost, if not 28th, lower than that. It's very bad. Pitching is horrible, and I just feel bad for these guys like James Wood and C.J. Abrams is having an absolute hell of a start to the year. But our offense is so good. We just need help on defense. Holy cow. We throw these guys on the mound, and they don't last, for our starters, they don't last 4 innings, we're cooked. Seriously, because then our bullpen comes in. We just had 2 guys get hurt, relievers get hurt against the Brewers, who are a dominant team offensively, and we did pitch well, and those 2 guys are now done. So, I mean, what do we do? Like,
the only thing you do, see, the problem is, what do you do, right?
Yeah.
Do you go to the games and support owners that build teams like this because they don't want to spend money? You know, and you want to go because you enjoy the whole environment, you want to support your team. But I tell you, I have a hard time going when this is the product they put on. And I watch on TV. I was a sucker and paid for the MLB Network, Nationals program, so I could watch every game. And it turns out it's broadcast on DirecTV every damn game. So, sucker here. But I do like watching them. They're fun to watch. The offense is fun. Like you said, James Wood. Super exciting. C.J. Abrams.
Dalen Lyle is a dog. I mean, we have
Brady House.
Brady House.
All it's actually real. They're really good, fun to watch. But I agree. You know what's going to happen in the end. As soon as they hit the bullpen, even if the starter keeps them in the game, as soon as it goes to the bullpen. But that's the same thing that happened last year. So they fired the general manager, Rizzo, right? Who I think we all liked. I didn't have a problem with him. They brought in this new guy. Right, and he's no better. The only I can think of is the ownership is just saying, well, we're not going to spend all this money on. And we got the youngest manager, right? He's what? How old is he? Like 18, the manager? I mean, is he 18, 19 years old? I mean, has he even shaved yet? So, I mean, he's the youngest guy. So it's interesting how they put this all together. And how long are they going to say we're rebuilding? I mean, how long are we going to sit back and listen to that? This is a rebuilding year. It's the owners. They're just cheap.
It's just time to spend money. I mean, if I'm a GM and I'm looking at our team right now, where is the obvious problem? It's the bullpen. And I'm putting money into this. I'm seeing what's happening on offense, and I'm thinking to myself, I need to spend money on defense immediately. Bullpen.
Right, but he can't spend the money unless the owners are willing to spend it. And that's the same thing that Rizzo had. Rizzo was a damn good manager, but his hands were tied all the time by the learners. They don't want to spend the money, and I don't understand why they won't sell. If you don't want to spend the money, because it's just too lucrative, because we go to games, we do whatever, and they just keep doing the same thing every year. And you're right. We got guys like James Wood and C.J. Abrams. Why is James Wood going to want to stay here when his contract's up? Same thing they did to Bryce Harper, and they did everybody. They're just going to Ron Soto. He's going to leave.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So we are the minor league. We are the minor league farm system for the rest of the MLB. Us and like teams like even Pittsburgh's doing better this year. Even they're trying to win, right? Because they know the window with Skeens is closing.
You want to know the difference? Exactly. That is the difference. They have pitching. That's it. I mean, they have pitching, and they're smacking the shit out of the ball. So yes, they're good offensively, but they have both sides. They have defense and they have offense. Why? We need a Paul Skeens. We need somebody that is a dominant pitcher that goes out there, starter and reliever and a closer. I mean, we had a guy that closed last night who's actually a decent guy. I forget his name, but I watched him pitch last night against Pittsburgh, and he looked good. I mean, we just need.
But weren't we
guys
down
who-
already 15 runs?
No, we were. Well, we almost threw up all of ourselves. We were up 5-1, and then who gets on the mound? Mike Meatball Mike Michaelos. What the hell was that sign? Signing that guy. I watched him pitch at St. Louis, and he gave up like 4 bombs. And I thought to myself, I'm like, oh God, I would never sign that guy.
Because
And
he fit
sure
into
enough,
what we were willing to pay a pitcher. He
Sure
would take
enough.
the money.
he ends up. I didn't even know we signed him. Like, yeah, because as a Nationals player, you're just hoping not to be completely awful. And then we show up. I get on TV and I get on DirecTV and I look it up. Who's on the mound? Mike Michaelos, and I'm like, oh my God. And then he gets the pitch against the Dodgers. What happened? Shelled, absolutely shelled on ESPN front page of Instagram. 4 home runs in like 2 innings against the Dodgers. I was texting my buddies. Here comes a home run. Shohei's getting up the bat. Oh, what happened? 3-run shot. Who would have thought that? Me. Everybody in the damn park was thinking the same thing. That guy is awful. If he touches the mound again,
You're
I'm
sounding
going
like
to be
me with
pissed.
the uniform.
It
Take
makes
a breath. Take a breath.
Okay, yeah,
Isn't
I
that
do
a
got to
calming
take a breath. But obviously, I have a soft spot for baseball, so it pisses me off. I mean, it should piss every Nationals fan off. It's awful. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you.
It does. It pisses us off every year, but it doesn't change anything if the owners are the problem. They don't want to spend money. They're the problem. So I hear you. I agree with you, but we're going to waste it again.
Yeah, I'll say being a Nats fan has been the most frustrating thing in the world since 2019. Whether it been from this now 6 straight years of rebuild to now that, hey, the offensive guys we all traded for and all this kind of stuff to start the rebuild, hey, they're breaking in. They're a top 5 offense. They're lethal. They're scrappy. They're extremely fun to watch. But we have to score 10 runs a game in order to win a damn
Literally.
baseball game.
Literally.
Like, as a former pitcher, as a dude who's pitched his entire life, nothing pisses me off more than watching dudes throw cock shots down the middle. Like I'm sorry. I'm not like I hate Mike
major
Ellis as well.
league pitchers too. That's the problem, right, Cole?
Yeah, it's like, pay me $5 million. I'll throw it right down the middle. I'll give up 4 bombs for the same price that Michaelis is doing. Like, bring up a random single A pitcher. They
That's what
probably
we
will
have
get
been
similar
doing.
results.
That's what we
Like,
have been doing.
Lord mercy, try anything new. Try in the free agency, get a pitcher. Like, how hard is that? We traded away Finnegan, we traded away Mackenzie Gore, and we got nobody.
Yeah.
because
got
they were gonna cost us money. We didn't want to pay for them.
That being said, Foster Griffin or whatever, I thought he was going to be super ass.
He's actually
He's
decent.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool with me. That's great. But everybody not named Cade Cavalli or Foster Griffin is a bum. I can't name 3/4 of them. I've never heard of them before. And they're out here rolling some random ass dude that I've never seen before up on the mound. It's like, oh, by the way, he's got a 16 ERA in 2 innings. He's given up 15 homer. It's like,
I felt
what
bad.
are we doing?
Yesterday there was a guy that hasn't pitched in the major leagues, and I think it was like 3 years or something like that, right? And the announcers,
That's so classic.
the announcers are on. He's like, oh, like they're going through the whole story about he got called up again. Like him and his wife were so happy, and then gets absolutely shelled. It was hilarious. I mean, not hilarious. If you're out there listening, which you're probably not, but listen, I'm sorry, but it was hilarious.
Whoa. Probably not. What are you saying? Nobody watches this? We're
No,
just
I'm
doing this
saying
for us?
Major league guy that I probably have never heard of in my life just gets on the mound and then goes. I think he went 1 inning or 3 innings. He gave up like 5 hits, 6 hits, and they scored 3 runs off of us. And they almost tied the game. We won by 1 run, thank God. But holy cow! Every time we hit the ball, great. But every time someone gets on the mound, I'm holding my breath as a fan.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just, I will say this. has nothing to do with how they score or how they hit the ball or how they pitch. I have to say, I was really leery of Dan Coco doing play-by-play, taking over Scott Carpenter. And I have to tell you, he's not half bad. The other guy, Dibbs or whatever his name is, not so much. But Coco's actually all right. He's not awful. He's not the radio broadcast.
Yeah,
but he is. He's not. They should have made those guys the TV guys. But the radio has such a following. I'm telling you, radio has such a following. Those guys are loved. But Coco's not bad. So that's one positive of the Nationals. I mean, they could have went out and actually hired a professional announcer. But of course, I'm sure he would do it for peanuts. But he's actually not half bad.
You know, when they were kind of funny that you bring that up. When I was watching the series against the Dodgers and we were getting our shit kicked in, the only thing they were talking about was this damn drone view that was going around the stadium. So it's like 15-1. 15-1. It's like, wow, look at this. Look at these.
That's all they could talk about.
Look at this. Look at this wire cam. This is wire cam. No, just show us getting shelled. Absolutely shelled.
That's all they could show anybody because everybody was so pissed. I mean, they were like, oh, another home run. Oh, another hit. Oh, another run. Look at that cam. Look at that view is incredible.
Look at this wire cam. Oh, and Shohei just...
That's when you know you suck.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... It's bad. As fans, I'm still going to go to a game, take my money. I'll gladly go out there and have a few beers, whatever. But holy cow... Please, for the love of God, if you're listening, GM,
sign Cole. Sign Cole Snead. He'll come out. No, he'll give you a better game. Cole will give him a better game because they won't be able to hit his slider or his curveball. I guarantee you, Cole gets some strikes against some major leaguers. I guarantee it. He would.
Listen, if
some
Shohei
strikes,
Ohtani,
maybe some outs, probably not.
If Shohei Ohtani,
you don't give yourself enough credit.
If Shohei Ohtani is going first pitch off of 98, Jacob deGrom, I'm sorry, Cole. You're getting
Cole's fastball wasn't his out pitch; it was his off speed. I'm telling you, he had some wicked off speed. I couldn't hit it. I'll tell you right now, I couldn't hit that ball. But anyway, so just we're at 52 minutes. I did want to talk a little bit about Ovi.
Yeah.
And what you guys are thinking about the potential that last night was his last game and how you guys are feeling about that. I personally, I hope he comes back. I want him to come back. I know the media, they're like got their daggers out and, they're ready to send him off, to retirement. And that's one thing I can't stand about radio hosts is they're always ready to get rid of you. Are always ready to say, oh, you're this or you're that. And Grant and Danny especially, it really pisses me off with this because he keeps throwing out the stats about how he's this and that. But, he is the number one scorer, I believe, on this team. So you're ready to run the guy out. He's the number one scorer on a team. Maybe he is, 40-plus years old. But their theory is, let the younger guys play. Well, he's still giving you some offense. And I think he's deserved the right to retire whenever he wants. And I know we've talked about that previously, but there really is a feeling, I guess, that this could be it. And I hope that Leonsis reaches out to him and says, hey, if you want to come back, the door's open. And I'm just not ready to see him leave because, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to go see once he's been such a fixture here. I don't know who I'm going to go see. What's the guy? Is it
Dylan
Leonard?
Strome.
Well, I don't know. I don't get excited about that, I want to go see Ovi. Ovi's going to get another goal. It's going to add to the record. I want to see, the grade 8. It's just going to be really weird if he's done. And the fact that they did no fanfare, I get it. He didn't want it. If this is it, it kind of sucks because I feel like he should have been celebrated.
Yeah. I mean, I'll let you talk, Cole, but one thing that I wanted to add is just like, I watched the last part of the game and it was underwhelming. I mean, if this is really his last game in Capital One Arena, I thought he would have, he did skate around a little bit and say hi, whatever, because they got him on the camera. But I felt like he would have gone out there more and just said, this is it. Thank you guys forever. But it was kind of just like, thank you guys for the support through my career, whatever. That's it. That's literally like all he said when they interviewed him. But I know, Cole, you got a lot to talk about Ovi, bigger hockey fan than me, so I'll let you go.
All right. Well, I'm not. I'll lead off first and foremost with saying I don't think he's retiring. I think we're gonna get another year out of him. I was reading something today that apparently there was a quote when he was talking to an interview or like a reporter after his last game, and he made a comment. He's like, "I don't want this to be my last game," or something like that. So I still think. I think there's actually a very good possibility, probably 75-80% chance that he comes back and plays again next year. And I'm all for it because, after the other game against Columbus where they weren't making the playoffs and the season was over, stuff like that, it did feel like you were saying, Dad, that it was super underwhelming. And that, like, I understand Ovi said the entire time that he doesn't want a whole lot of fanfare or anything like that, but he deserves at least some, Like, and I appreciate like the league and the social media and all, and, like the guys on ESPN for actually like highlighting him and showing his best moments and stuff like that, just in case. That made me feel good. But I was this afternoon like for how much like Ovechkin means to like the city. I still think to this day, Ovechkin is the greatest athlete in DC sports history. I don't think it even comes remotely close. You can say Theismann, you can say Michael Jordan because he showed up here for 2 seasons. You can say like any big old name. I don't think any of them were as influential as important to the city as Alex Ovechkin was. And maybe I'm biased because I've been here, but it's like he's been in the league for 20 plus seasons. I'm 24 years old now. I grew up every year of my life pretty much watching Alex Ovechkin play hockey. Like so many memories watching him. Like I was watching reels on social media, and
Don't get choked
yeah,
up.
right. I was gonna say I was getting choked up on social media when I was like watching all these reels. Like, dude, I'm not ready for him to retire.
I agree with you, Cole. I don't think I'll let you finish, but I just wanted to say before I forgot. I don't think there is a more influential athlete in this area. I think a coach, maybe like Joe Gibbs or somebody like that. But as far as athlete, one guy on one team for as long as Daryl Green comes to mind, but I still think, Ovi is right there, if not the best. So I agree with you with that.
Ryan Zimmerman, maybe. I don't think anywhere close. Yeah, I don't think anywhere close to Ovi, but Ryan Zimmerman on the baseball side. There
is an aura around Ovechkin that Ryan Zimmerman just doesn't have. Yeah. Daryl Green doesn't have. It's an aura. Maybe it's a charisma. I don't know what it is because all these other guys, they come across as like just normal guys. And what did Ovechkin do when he won the championship? He went and dove in the fountains and he's drinking beer, and he's just kind of one of those guys. That endears himself to just like something that I would want to do or you would want to do. And he lets his guard down and he shows who he really is. And the fact that he's not even from this country and he comes over here. So anyway, I'm taking away from Cole, but I agree with you.
Good.
I agree with you.
Before Cole starts again, the media is just portraying that he's retiring. I'm like Cole was mentioning, there was a reel yesterday that I saw that I even got a little bit emotional just watching it because they're showing all of his replay, and I think it was like posted by the Washington Capitals, which is the crazy part about it. They're showing all of his old replays of him getting drafted first overall in 2001, whatever it was. I couldn't even tell you, but him getting drafted, showing him all these goals, showing him winning the Stanley Cup, and they're like playing it to like sad music and stuff too. And I'm like, is he retiring? Is this what's going on? And then you see this stuff that is quote coming out and saying, I don't want this to be my last year. So I think it's all up in the air.
Yeah, he still definitely hasn't decided. I think I'm sure we'll find out in the coming weeks what his plan is. Probably not till after the Stanley Cup or anything like that. It's probably going to be like midway through the summer. We actually know for sure. But like I was saying, like Ovechkin, I think the difference that he has compared to the guys like Darrell Green and Ryan Zimmerman is the fact that Ovechkin is loved nationally and internationally. Like he is just a universally loved player across the entire board. And me, Grayson, we got the pleasure of growing up watching the greatest goal scorer ever play for our team for 20 plus years. And that doesn't happen for most people. Like, Patriots fans, I guess they got Brady, watched him growing up, stuff like that. Like, Ovechkin is our Brady.
He was he's also kind of like your Redskins because they actually won a championship in your lifetime. Wizards haven't done it. Redskins haven't done it. So he's kind of like the way I look at the Redskins, you know. I was never a big hockey person, but the Redskins and all their championships and all that. So, yeah, you're right. That's like the one thing that he's been around as long as you've been alive for almost, less 4 years. It's pretty long.
Yeah, he's been around forever. And like I was saying, when I was sitting there watching the reels and looking over all the posts and stuff, I was like, man, I'm not ready for this chapter of Capitals hockey to be over. Capitals and Alex Ovechkin go hand in hand. It's like you can't think of the Washington Capitals without thinking about Ovechkin. So it's like, for me, a big concern that I have is once he ends up being gone, who's gonna carry the torch? I mean, it's an impossible shoe to fill. Like nobody can live up to Alex Ovechkin. I'm sorry, and I know people for other teams you got Crosby and McDavid maybe or stuff like that, but I don't know. It's people really like Crosby. He's very similar to Ovechkin. I do stand by the fact that I think Ovechkin and Crosby saved the NHL. Alex Ovechkin, people will say Wayne Gretzky's better. I strongly disagree. I don't even think it's close. I think the era that Gretzky played versus the era that Ovechkin played, it's way harder to score goals. It's way harder to get points in this day and age. You got goalies doing the butterfly and working out of the hybrid, not doing stand-up goalies like they were doing back in the 80s and 90s. I think his skill set and all that kind of stuff just sets him so high for all-time players. I think he is a top 3 player ever in the NHL. And I think Crosby's up there too with him. I think they are probably somewhere both of them in the top 3.
Crosby's time's coming to a close too.
Well, it is. I think he's a little bit younger than Ovechkin is, though, so he might have an extra year or two than he does. But
what we can hope is that when he does retire, they all do, that he'll still be around hockey. I hope he just doesn't move back to Russia, and that's all you hear from him. I hope he stays maybe involved even with the Capitals, like Mario Lemieux. I think he bought the Penguins. I don't know if he's still... Was it the Penguins? Or maybe it's Boston. But anyway, a lot of great players stay in the game. Even Gretzky's still involved in the game. And hopefully Ovechkin will stay in the game because I really like him. I think he's a really honest, unique... I see myself in him. Obviously, I'm not a hockey player. I'm not a great athlete or whatever, but I know I could have a beer with that guy and have a blast. I just know it. I mean, I could sit down and we could shoot the shit about anything, not even hockey, and I'd have a blast. Yeah, I'm sure he'd outdrink me, me being a lightweight. But boy, I would love to have that opportunity. But yeah, he is definitely a DC icon, and will be missed if he chooses to retire. But I'm with Cole. I think he's coming back one more time. I'd love to see him score 1,000 goals. I'd just say bring him back for 2 years, get him to 1,000, then he can just skate off the ice after he hits 1,000. And no one's ever touching that. I like round numbers too. I don't like these squirrely numbers, So, but anyway, we are up on 1 hour and 3 minutes and 42 seconds. So I know it's been a week or two since we've been on, but we really, really appreciate you guys watching and following along with us. We can be found obviously on Spotify, Facebook, or YouTube. So again, we just enjoy doing this. It's kind of a fun thing, It's a good opportunity for me to be with my boys and spend some time with them. And I know it takes time out of their day to have to do this. So I just really appreciate you guys doing it. I really appreciate, again, everybody watching and your comments. Please, if you have them, we do read them. So send them to us. And again, thanks again for watching. And we'll see you down the road. Take care, guys.